Hello, everyone. How are you? I am trying to fix up the camera real quick. We're gonna hopefully not knock it off the web like I did earlier. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me know that you're here by saying hello in the comments. Sorry, chat. My brain is having struggles today. It's just been a very long day, and it's deciding it's ready for bed. We are back with our shadow work this week, along with some other things that I'd like to share with you guys. But tonight we are going to work our shadow work through the tarot once again. And this time we're going to use the Hierophant. I'm always unsure if I'm saying it right. So if I'm saying it wrong, let me know so I can learn how to say it right. But we are going to do the shadow work through the Hierophant. Now, if you're new and you don't know what our shadow work is, and this is the first time you're joining us live, just understand that shadow work is basically witch therapy. That's what shadow work is. We we look at the parts of ourselves that not necessarily are broken, but parts of ourselves that we have to spend extra energy on. We look at what can we do to heal parts of ourselves so that way we're no longer spending that extra energy in that corner. We've shown a light on it, and now we can use all of the energy that we have at our disposal. So we work through our shadow work, and we have spent the last couple of weeks working through part of the tarot. We are now at the Hierophant. So let me introduce to you how I actually come about and figure out what are the shadow questions, what do we need to know, blah, 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 blah. I actually got this book a couple of months ago. I really enjoy it. What I enjoy about it the most is the fact that it will tell you what the card means in different positions of your deck. Like if it is in the position of a situation, exactly what does that card mean within a situation. So that's cool. It doesn't really work for the way that I pull tarot. The way I pull tarot is completely different than what most people do, but it's really cool. So that way, if you are a tarot reader that actually uses different types of what's the word I'm looking for, layouts, different layouts, it'll tell you what the position is for. So I enjoy this. What I really enjoy this for, though, hey Sin, what's up? What I really enjoy this book for is the fact that it allows me to really get in depth with what the card means. So when we are about to do our shadow work and we're going to use the tarot, I pull this book out and I look at the card that we are going to discuss. Well, the card that we are going to discuss tonight is the teacher card. It is also the card that has to do with organization, and not meaning like, oh, I'm putting up all my paintbrushes kind of organization. I mean, it is organization of the religious or institutional kind. This is a card that represents conformity. So we're going to talk about healing parts of ourselves using this. What kind of questions do I need to ask? Well, luckily for me, in this book, there are a set of questions for the Hierophant. The biggest question was, how do you feel about conformity? And I thought that's a great place to start with our shadow work, because depending on your answer depends on what kind of trauma you've had, right? Hey, Chad, how are you? So for me, how do I feel about conformity? I hate it. I think conformity is bad. I think we all should be unique. I think we all should be living authentically us. Why would I say that? And this is part of that shadow work. Hey, Sarah Beth, what's up? Hey, Lori. when we are doing shadow work, we answer a question and then we question our answer. So I have a question. What do you feel about conformity? My answer is, I don't like it. Well, why don't you like it? And there we go. Let's start right there, right? So, oh, look. It says, I'm doing good. I have good news. Good news. What's your good news, Chad? What's your good news? I y'all, I need good news today. I need good news. We've had a lot of bad news over the last 24 hours, so need some good news. Oh, Lori, this is what I love about our community, by the way. And I find it funny that we're building a community, but we are definitely building a community. And you guys genuinely, when we get into chat there, you guys genuinely care about each other. And I love that we feel safe enough to do this, to root each other on. And that's the big thing, like a lot of times we fear rooting people on because it'll take away from our success, and that's not the truth. So I love the fact that you guys feel safe enough to root each other on. New path from Tyr and Freya is about to open. Oh, that's very cool, Chad. That is very cool. It's going to probably be some hard work, I'm sure. Judge overturned DeSantis mask ban. Yes. No. Anything from the school district that I work for, Cindy, they have decided against masks. They voted against them. Yeah. I'm trying my best. Speaking of shadow work, I'm trying my best to maintain some type of mental health amongst this, because I know that you and I have talked about it, Cindy. From a teacher standpoint, I'm always having to worry. Like I feel like I'm not able to teach to the best of my ability because I'm worried, like, hey, you got to sit down. Hey, you can't go over to that pod. Please, please, please go sit down. Please don't wander around the room. Okay, cough into your elbow. Like, I see kids that come in and they are pale, and I'm like, what's going on? You don't look like you feel well. I don't. We'll go to the clinic, So I feel like I'm doing more management than teaching. And that to me bothers me. And I feel like if we had masks, maybe, I don't know. I know that last year they had the same issues. So, Chad, I want to thank my mom. My awakening happened. Oh, that's so cool. I'm glad, Chad. I'm glad, Chad. We have a mask mandate. There is no way I could let my baby go to school without it. Zara, down here, it's all about seeing smiles. It's about seeing smiles. And I'm going to tell you this. If y'all haven't seen me in a mask, you can tell I'm smiling every time in a mask. Why? Because my eyes get all squinty. See, I smile, my eyes get squinty. So even with a mask, you can see my smile. Cindy, any luck with... No luck with that. Great news, chat. I'm just reading everybody's chat right now. Like, woohoo! You squint too, Zarabeth? All right, so I'm not the only one. We got the squinty eyes. Hi, how are you? So tonight we're going to talk about how do you heal yourself through a conformist teacher? Because that's what the Hierophant is about. The Hierophant is conformity, and they are always there for spiritual guidance and for education. So I had to stop and think, and I was like, this is a perfect one for me right now. Because I'm not liking conformity right now. Why don't I like it? Well, I don't know how you guys feel, but when doing my shadow work, I don't like conformity because I don't like feeling trapped. And I feel that a lot of social norms trap me in a mold that doesn't fit me. Well, why don't I feel like it fits me? See what we're doing there? Shadow work is a constant asking your question, answering your question, and then questioning your answer. So why do I feel like normal life doesn't fit me? Well, that has to do with trauma. It has to do with childhood trauma. It has to do with having an abusive parent, right? And I've said this time and time again, and I want to make sure everybody is clear. I am not talking about my mother on this one, all right? My mother was not an abusive parent. But I did have an abusive parent. My father was not a kind man. And a lot of my insecurities and my angst about being perfect come from that. And I figured that if I couldn't be perfect, then I just wouldn't try. I'd be something of my own, right? And it's very weird. It's very weird. So, your first question for your shadow work is, what do you feel about conformity? What do you feel about conformity? Why? Why do you feel that way about it? Is it something that you are okay with? Is it something that you figured, oh, it's mandatory, so I might as well do? What is your answer to conformity? Do you consider yourself a nonconformist? I know a lot of you guys on here consider yourself a nonconformist. So why do you not conform? What is it about normal organized society that you don't want to be a part of? Now, I can tell you from the normal organized society that's being presented in the pandemic right now, whew, y'all, I want to keep hiding. I just want to keep hiding. I want to be around people. I want to definitely be a nonconformist right now. Whoo! I will stay away from the feed stores if you know. All right. Sorry. Punk bands swarmed your brain. No, see? Exactly. See? Cindy, you are when I think of punk, you are probably like in the dictionary for the picture of what it looks like for me. And I love that about you. I absolutely love that about you. When we talk about it in class, because we actually have talked about punk rock in class, and when I talk about it in class, I'm like, I have an amazing friend. Her name is Cindy, and she is so punk, and I love her. Like that's who I think of you. Zarabeth, I don't know. It depends on the circumstances. Ah, so you are like either way. You can conform or you cannot conform. Okay. That's right, Zarabeth, her punk sister. I feel like conforming was for me. For me, I was made to look the part on each of the abusive relationships, for lack of a better term, right now that I had been in. Both of those men wanted me to look the part. I was to look the good daughter, or I was to be, the good spouse. And not looking the part was distressful to them. For my younger years, being epileptic and being sick was sort of like a mark against my dad. Like he did not like that I was sick. He didn't like that I had seizures. I was weak. So So conforming was a mandatory thing. And I think when you have to conform, of course you rebel against it. And so that's what I did. So Zara, you're like, I could conform or I couldn't conform. It was either way. That's interesting. Cindy, um, I'm a classroom example of punk rock. You are. You are my exemplar, okay? That's the teacher education word we're going to use. You are my exemplar of what punk should be, okay? Zarabeth, oof. Looking the part makes me think of her mother was, oh, oh gosh. Gosh. Um I think I look at a lot of people that are considered nonconformists, and oftentimes there are two categories that you can put them in. A nonconformist either comes from a nonconformist. So, like my children, they are nonconformist because their mother raised them to be outside of a box, right? Free range children, if you will, right? I didn't actually free range children. That's no. I was very, very like helicopter parent. But um, they were able to express themselves. They were free to be inside the box, be outside of the box, just whoever they wanted to be. So I raised nonconformist children. I happen to be nonconformist because conformity was pushed upon me, right? Um, so nonconformists for me come in two different categories. Either you come from a conformist family, a nonconformist family, or you just are rebelling against something. Um, Zarabeth, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Um, Cindy, yes, Cindy, you're a nonconformist because your dad. Yes, your dad was also an artist, right? I believe that's what you. I remember you telling me. See, and those events, Cindy, events like that, we look at things, and it's something that I started thinking about recently, specifically because of the pandemic. We do something once, right? And we receive some type of reward for it. We receive some type of feedback that this is something that happened that was good. So we begin to do it again, and we do it again, and we do it again, and it becomes a habit, and those habits become comfort zones, right? Um, so I believe that some of my nonconformity is a comfort zone. As weird as that's gonna sound, like people are like, "Hey, you've got green hair, you've got green hair and piercings and tattoos, and you're kind of weird." Yeah, yeah, and it's my comfort zone. I prefer to be nonconformist because then people don't get near me. I don't have the ability to get hurt by people. If I'm weird and if I'm strange and if people are like, I'm not going to talk to her, I don't get hurt by people. And I specifically don't get hurt by people who are conformist, like the person who hurt me, right? So these things become comfort zones. So I'm asking myself, is it in my best interest to be a nonconformist? Ooh, ooh, now that one's a tough one. That's a double-edged sword. Yes and no, right? So if you're a nonconformist or if you're a conformist, that's the next question to ask yourself. Is this in your best interest? I don't know. There's some more shadow work to do. I don't know. Why don't you know? Because an answer might hurt. A real truthful answer. When I say I don't know, a lot of times when I say I don't know, it means I don't want to answer because it hurts. Yep. Be people like Cindy, yes, because people will leave you alone. My mom let us be free thinkers, and I tried not to rebel or conform just because all the other punks did it or my friends did it. Because then I felt like I was conforming no matter what. Yes. Yes, Zarabeth. That's the other thing is like when everybody started, when Hot Topic became a thing, I stopped dressing as goth as I used to be. Why? One, because I was getting older and I had children and there was, looking the part, right? I had to look the part with the person I was with. But also, Hot Topic became mainstream, and mainstream to me is yuck. I don't want to do anything mainstream because that means I'm conforming. I'm just like everybody else. Look, I'm so nonconformist. I have yet to watch Game of Thrones, guys. Why? Because everybody else was watching it. Now, I did fall into the Tiger King trap. All right. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I can't take that time back. It happened. All right. Chad, I don't know where I fall. Okay. All right. And that's part of this is it's okay to not know. It's just that we got to keep asking ourselves why do we spend the energy in the areas that we spend our energy in? Why do I spend so much energy being different? What is the purpose of that? Does that serve me? Does that expenditure of energy serve me? Does it benefit me to keep doing this? And that's a question that I have a hard time answering. Zarabeth, mainstream gross, mainstream bad. Cindy, same, never seen Game of Thrones. Okay, see, you've got me on Tiger King. I did watch Tiger King. I'm sorry, okay? I'm weak. I'm human, okay? I never watched Game of Thrones, Lori. Okay. So we've got look at all my nonconformists in there. They're like, no, the masses are watching this, so I'm not doing it. I'm gonna watch Rust Valley. I say that because that's what we watched. Letterkenny. Okay. Yes, Letterkenny was great. I will give you that, Cindy. But this is what I'm talking about. Our little community here, we have all these nonconformists. Why? Why are we spending so much energy avoiding what everybody else likes? Why? Why am I spending the energy avoiding what everybody else likes? Forged in Fire. Yes, I love that one too. Listen, I'm still watching Buffy. You gotta love Spike, okay? Don't play. You gotta love Spike. Oh my goodness. You need to laugh. That show is perfect. Yes. Yes. And I think that when we look at the shows that people are watching and when we talk about conformity, I think that's another thing that we're really getting at is that the things that we need as nonconformist are not the same as somebody who is within society, right? There is needs mentally that we need filled that not all mainstream media will fill, right? For a lot of nonconformists, I noticed that during the pandemic, we turned to comedy. A lot of us just wanted to laugh. We didn't want to watch anything serious. We wanted to watch really stupid TV and we wanted to laugh. And that was pretty much it. See, Zerbeth, my brother-in-law was on an episode of Forged in Fire. That's pretty cool. That's pretty. You got to tell me which. Like, send me the episode because I'd like to watch it. That's kind of cool. Paola, I don't want to answer because I'm scared of. Oh gosh, yes, Paola. And the painful. You bring this up, and I love that you bring this up. There was a question that went around TikTok a couple of weeks ago, and it was with shadow work, and particularly if it is an extreme trauma, should you be doing shadow work? And the answer for me is yes and no. Yes, you should be doing some form of shadow work. No, you should not be doing that alone. If it's a very painful, traumatic experience, I definitely say get a therapist. Yes, that's a privileged thing, right? Um, I'm hopeful that we are getting to a society that is producing more and more programs that allow everybody to get the mental health that they need. But when you can't see a therapist, it's still something that you should have a friend or you should have someone you trust that you can just soundboard on. You can say, these are my feelings. And that person knows you well enough to sit with those feelings and doesn't try to fix you, but allows you to feel safe. You know, I think that's what we really need. For most people in Norse pagan, it's rare for a tear to pick them. Yes, Chad, that is true. Zarabeth, yeah, she said it absolutely right. I'm sorry, they said it absolutely right. I don't know if they're male or female, and I'm not going to assume. So my bad. Zarabeth, he makes weapons and armor and teaches art. That's really cool, Zarabeth. I can't. I'm Cindy, I think I see what you're saying, but it looks like a totally different word because my eyes are um oh Cindy Zarabeth. Lori says, I bet I watched him. I bet you did, Lori. If you watched Forge and Fire, I bet you watched her brother-in-law. That is really cool. One run up, Cindy. Nope. I I would love to drink as well. I've got Sprite Zero though. And the coaster that wants to come up with it. Look up the Karambit episode. Okay. I think it's season 4. I'll have to look that up then. That is very cool. So would you, Zarabeth? I'm trying to. It seems like your family has a lot of art coming through. And so that makes sense with what you said about your mom allowing you guys that freedom to be who you are. Cindy, all my coasters tend to float up. I don't understand. All right. The other question that came from this book, what does a leader look like? And that is a part of the Hierophant shadow work because we all want to lead by example of something. For the most part, we're all trying to live a life that someone would look at and go, okay, they're a good person, right? Okay, they're doing good things. Most people, not all, most people. So, what does a leader look like to you guys? Are you a leader? Are you capable of leading? Do you feel confident to lead? What does a leader look like? I'm the only one without just Zarabeth, but you have the ability to be artistic with your words. Cindy, the most important family member, though, I could use right? I think we all could. Leaders are compassionate, tactful, strong, and intelligent. So, Zarabeth, are you a leader? Do you consider yourself all those things? You say you're not. Why do you not? There. Why do you not consider yourself a leader? What are one of those things that you don't see about yourself? Lori. Yes, she is. Lori Zarabeth is awesome. Cindy, you say empathetic, considerate, calculating, cautious, yet confident. Are you a leader? So, Zarabeth, you absolutely don't think you're any of those. I see you differently. I see that you are compassionate, Zarabeth. I see that you are tactful. I see that you're strong and intelligent. When I see Zarabeth, I see a leader. I don't look at any of you and not believe you could lead. You know? See, Danielle. Hey, Danielle, how are you? I missed your, I see that you're up there already. I missed you coming in. I'm so sorry, my love. You can be a leader. I'm the one who couldn't be. Oh, so we've got a bunch of you that are really. So, Cindy, you're like, you are, but it's exhausting. I would rather not be. Okay. You would rather not lead. You snuck in late, Danielle. It's okay. Better late than never, right? Zarabeth, I think that comes from being manipulated in the past. Yep. I am full of self-doubt. Yeah. I understand that, Zarabeth. That was one of the things when looking at, do I consider myself a leader? And it's weird because I have, you have this middle ground on conformity. I have this middle ground on lead. I believe I'm a leader, but I'm like Cindy. I don't want to lead. Not that it's exhausting, not that, I don't think I can do it. I don't want to lead because I don't think I can do it right. I don't want to lead because I don't want the problems to be my fault and for me to be blamed. And that comes from trauma. When you are growing up or when you are just in an abusive relationship or have had abusive relationships, what happens is that your decision making is always questioned. It's always questioned. You're never right. Even when you are right, you're not right. If you are forced to make a decision and it hurts the person, then all of a sudden you did that on purpose. So you're always questioning your decision making and whether or not it's good. So I am on this middle ground with lead because I'm scared to make a decision, because if I make the wrong decision, I'll get in trouble. And I use these words, and when I use these words, it reminds me also that I'm sounding like a child. Why? Because this is when I developed those issues. As a child, I developed those issues. So watch what kind of words you use as well when you describe your shadows. Are they words that children would use? If so, you know when it happened. If they're adult words, start looking into your adult life, right? I will even say that some of my doctors have made me feel this way. Thinking that I was doing the right thing with my body and them telling me, just completely yelling at me for things. So I think we just grow up starting to second guess ourselves. Hey, Becca, what's up? Danny has Zarabeth. Danny has strength. If she isn't leading, then she is taking care of leaders besides babies. Danielle is a true nurturer. Yes. I agree with that. But I think all of you are. I think you all are nurturers, and it's just that We are doing shadow work for a reason. There are things that we don't see about ourselves, even though everybody else can see them. Like, I can list so many great things about every single one of you, right? I can list so many great things. You guys could list great things about me, and I won't see them. This is why we do this. It's so that way we can finally see what is really there. I am a leader. I do make good decisions. And see, you hear that? As I'm trying to validate and like say it to myself so that way I can believe it, I stumble over those words unconsciously because my brain goes, no, you don't. No, you don't. Not yet. When I said, I make great decisions. So, what part of being a leader do you think you fall at? And why? Why is it that, like, if you don't think you're tactful, because that was one of the things you said, Zarabeth, you said a leader is tactful. Well, what makes you think you're not tactful? Have you ever had an issue where you hurt somebody's feelings? Is that something that you do all the time? Because I don't see that. I don't see where you say the wrong things all the time. But was that one time a big enough time that you were like, oh, I'm not good at this, so I'm never going to do it again? If I stopped trying to ride my bike the first time I fell down, I would have never learned how to ride a bike, right? If I would have stopped trying to write my name the first time I ever wrote my name, I would have never learned how to write. But sometimes those first times are really traumatic times. So what was it that happened that made you think that you didn't possess that characteristic? Right? Becca, if someone doesn't give me exact, detailed instructions for something, I panic because adults used to yell at me for not doing stuff the right way. Yeah. Yeah. Becca, I have the same kind of issue. Sorry, I'm getting super hot, so I'm probably going to take this little thing off. I have a very similar issue. If I don't have the clear instructions, I'll start to get panicky because I don't trust my decision making. I don't trust that I have gotten all the information. And that's one of the reasons why I'm having such a hard time with the school year this year. There's so many things that I don't know and I'm not being given all the information for. And so it's making my mental health all over the board. It's all over the board. It's no good. So I get that, Becca. Zarabeth, I would have loved having. Oh, thank you. You know what? Okay, so me as a teacher, me as a person, I teach like I am. That makes no sense, but I teach like I am. My expectations of people are for you to treat me with kindness, for you to not judge me, for you to be a good human being around me. That is my expectations of humans, right? Because those are my expectations. That is how I treat people. That's how I treat students. I want to treat you with kindness. I want to treat you with respect. I want to treat you like you have intelligence because that's what I want. And that's kind of, it's an epiphany that I've been having lately that everybody that I can think of treats others the way that they expect to be treated. So the people that are constantly mean and grumpy and just hateful to others, it's because they are always assuming somebody's going to be mean, hateful, and grumpy to them. So my assumption of people is that people are going to be kind. right? Now, the pandemic has changed my assumption of people. And this is where my husband and we were talking about it, and this is the not great part of the pandemic and what it's done to people. I am a very kind person. I assume the best of people, but the pandemic has changed that. There are things that are becoming very cold and jaded about me because of it. um, let's see. It's about 50-50. I was very awkward for a bit, and I guess too much sticks with me. I internalize everything. Oh. So, Zarabeth, because you internalize everything, how does that not make you enough? Like, I I talk about all my feelings. I talk about all my feelings, and so many people have made fun of me over the years because, oh, don't stand by Shalisa. She'll give you her whole life story. Well, yeah, I will. Why? It's a nervous reaction. It's just what I do, right? But I'm here doubting myself, and then you internalize everything and you're doubting yourself. Why? Why can't we just be fine with who we are? Why can't we just be fine with the skin that we're in? We're not. That's why we do this. We ask ourselves, what was the event? What was the event that made me think that I had to talk to everyone? Like everyone. What was it? What did I not what did I have done to me to where I think that if I am quiet, I'm being rude? Right? So what is it that you do that you don't like? Why? Why don't you like it? It's a part of you. Why don't you like it? Um Zarabeth, oh my god. You're fine. You're fine. Let's talk. Let's get into it. Becca gotta go cook for Patrick. Oh, I love you, Becca. I love you. Go cook some nummies. Cindy. Oh, you're saying hi, saying bye to Becca. So Zarabeth, that's you. I bubble and my stories don't go from A to B and I'm all over the place. Exactly. Like that's I I also start conversations in my head and don't realize that there are people don't hear the conversations in my head. So then I start a conversation with them like they've already been listening. Why? Why do I do that? That doesn't make sense. Oh. So Cindy, you're comfortable with silences. Ah. But with friends, okay. Yeah, because you're comfortable with them. And it's interesting. Are you're comfortable with the silences? So are you comfortable with silences with strangers? Would you be comfortable with a silence between your friends? Like if none of you were talking, would you be comfortable? And if not, why? Why wouldn't you be comfortable with that silence? Shadow work for me is always asking me why I'm not comfortable with something. Why is that? Why do I feel that way? Okay, why do I feel that way? Well, how'd that happen? Like, that is all shadow work is. It's a constant leading through. It smells like bacon smothered pork loins in my house. Is your significant other cooking again? One of these days we gotta stay long enough to actually eat because every time we come over to your house, we gotta leave early. It's stupid. Zarabeth, oh, we can sit and do nothing and don't have to talk. Those people I keep close. Right? Right? That's how I knew that my husband and I were good, because I could sit in silence with him and I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel like I had to somehow entertain him. I didn't have to appease him. All I had to do was be there, and I could be me while being there. I didn't have to be me paying attention to him, you know? I could just be me in silence. So, I strive for comfort in all aspects and find them in few, but those are treasured moments. So what is it about comfort? What is it about comfort that you absolutely need? Like you say, you look for it in everything. So why? Why is it a need? Why do you need comfort? Lori, don't have to entertain or occupy them. Yes, I love people that I could just like ding, Cindy, yes, I will be staying next time for food. It has to. Danielle, Zara, and my favorite thing to do is veg and watch TV. Yes. Yes. Just sit there. Not have to talk, not have to be. Just sit there. Um, my husband, when I have dark episodes, and that's when I don't get on here. When I'm not on YouTube, or I'm not even on TikTok, because some days when I'm sick, I can at least do like a 1-minute video for TikTok. But when I'm not on anything, most of the time that means that my head got the best of me and I'm in a very dark place. So one of the things that I love most about my husband is that when I get there, when I get into that dark place, I don't want to be around anybody. I want to shut everybody out, because I don't want my hurt to leak on others. I want to keep my hurt to me, so that way it doesn't hurt so much more. Because if I hurt somebody while I'm hurting, oh, forget it. I'm done. I'm the worst person in the world. The world is coming to an end. All of that stuff, right? So my husband has found that when I get into those dark places, all he has to do is hold me. That's it. No, he doesn't need to talk to me. Just hold me. As much as I want him to go away and leave me alone, like I don't yell or get upset with him or anything like that. It's that I try to tell him I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And I will go hide in another room. And when he sees that I'm hiding, it's, you're not okay. Let me hold you. And he stops my world from spinning out of control, and he just sits in the darkness with me. And it's one of the things that I love the most about him, is that he doesn't have to try to fix me. He just wants to be there while I learn to fix myself. And I think that's a pretty powerful thing, is that he knows that I can. When people try to fix you in your brain, it's they know I'm broken and that I can't do this. When he sits there and just holds me, he's giving me a really powerful message. You can do this. I'm just going to sit here until you're ready. Pretty powerful. He knows that I can fix myself. And that helps. That helps for me to know that somebody's got confidence in me, that I can fix myself. That's a pretty big thing. You know? Sit in misery with me. Yep. Just don't try to fix me. Oh, I know, Cindy. He's a pretty special dude. I'm a pretty lucky woman. If you can't tell by the goofy smile that I always get when I talk about him. And I will say this, that for shadow work, he doesn't realize the amount that he has helped me get through, the amount of shadow work that I have gotten through before I even had the vocabulary to call it that. Before I ever knew that this is what I was doing, I just knew that he was making me feel safe enough to look at parts of me that I didn't like. And he made me feel safe enough to be able to fix those parts. He made me feel safe enough and confident enough to know that I could. And now that I have the vocabulary to know that this is, I've been doing shadow work for years and that's just what this is, it's interesting, you know? Chad. Oh, hey, Chad, you're back. Oh, yes. Zarabeth, you'll come back up soon. You'll come back up through it soon. And there's a thing that sometimes people get scared when other people get sad because they don't know how long they'll be sad. We don't know how long we're going to be sad. We could be sad for a day. We could be sad for weeks. I don't know. Right? And it's scary because I don't know. I don't know how long I'm going to be sad for. And sometimes when I get sad and then I'm back to normal again, I'm like, I'm okay. I'm not feeling sad. I forget how sad I was. Like, I don't recognize that feeling. And so when it comes back, you're like, oh, what is this? This was what I was feeling last time? Yuck. You know? Lori, my father-in-law told hubby it's not his job to make me happy. That's right. It just isn't supposed to be the cause of unhappiness. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. It's not your job to make me happy, but it is not, you are not supposed to be the cause of my dark days. Absolutely. Oh, Cindy, I love all of you very much. But dinner has the dinner bell. You go eat the yummies then. I love you. I love you. We're getting ready to leave anyways because it's been an hour. Can you imagine that? It's already been an hour? What? What? You know, Chad, you're very right. Part of the shadow work that I do also is the fact that I'm an empath. And so when other people are sad around me, I used to absorb that. Now, it's a different part of shadow work, but it is that protection part of shadow work. As once you get to know your gifts, there's certain protections that need to be set in place for those gifts. And I pick up on feelings. I pick up on feelings very, very easily. And so I've had to train myself. How do I know that that's my feeling or is that somebody else's feeling? And if that's somebody else's feeling, how do I stop it? How do I make it not spread to me and trigger my feelings? You know? Bye, Cindy. I love you. Danielle, I went over a year being sad. Oh, God. It gets to a point where you forget what not being sad feels like. It took so long to be okay. I understand. That's where I'm afraid I'm heading to right now because of this job. Empathy is so hard. We want to help and fix everyone's pain, but we would drown. And that is exactly it, Zarabeth. You would drown. And I think that's part of the reason why so many empaths are having a hard time right now is because there's so much pain. And it's normally we can handle the day-to-day pain, but this is pandemic pain. And so we're buckling. Our protections aren't good enough some days, and we are buckling. And I think that's why more empaths are having darker days than they used to. Now I'm starting to not feel again, and that's, I know, Danielle, I know. And that's this whole pandemic, this whole situation. It's gotten to be too much, right? it's gotten to be too much, and it becomes disheartening when you see people not do the things that they're supposed to be doing, right? Oh, I definitely take on everyone's feelings too. You know what? Let me look. Let me look. Normally when we do Witchy Wednesday, I don't pull out the whole spell thing. But let's look, because there might be a helpful spell for us that we might be able to do. Bless and protect a newborn baby. No. Protect against hardships. Not exactly what we're looking. Combat deceit. Dispel evil intent. Traveling. Unwanted attentions. To protect against all types of intrusions. That's a maybe. That's a maybe. All right. But that's a physical thing. I don't want to know that. Let's see. That's nope. Spite, nope. The evil eye, nope. I think next Witchy Wednesday, we're going to do some type of empathy protection spell. Shield spell. For protection in stressful situations, to ward off stress. Bang, 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 bang! I found it, ladies and gentlemen. Next Witchy Wednesday. Empaths. We're going to shield up. We're going to shield up. So next week, this is what you need to have before next Witchy Wednesday, all right? You need 1 black candle. 1 black candle. Got it. You need matches or a lighter. Got it. You need 1 12-inch length of string. I can get it. And 1 small lockable box. Oi. Oi. All right. We need a lockable box. Next Witchy Wednesday, we're going to do this spell. We're going to learn to protect ourselves against all stress. How do you guys feel about that? Let me keep my feelings and you keep yours, right? Yes. Let's do this. One of my problems as an empath is that once I know what aura is, I can attend it with in seconds, feel said person's emotion. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I'm good with tarot, is because I can like tap into that energy very easily, Chad. So I understand what you're talking about there. Lori, you love it. Danielle, you love it. Zarabeth, black candle, fire, 12-inch string, lockbox. Got it. I typed it here so we can go back. All right. 12-inch string, black candle. And by the way, if you don't have a black candle and you can't come across a black candle, which it's kind of the spooky season, so you can kind of get them a little bit easier. But if you ever are doing a spell and it calls for a certain colored candle, y'all, a white candle will do any day. And I tell people this all the time. A witch's best friend is birthday candles, because a lot of times your spell will call for you to let the candle completely burn. And it's hard to sit there with a candle for a couple of hours. You know, you can't leave a candle unattended because it's a fire danger. But a little birthday candle will go down pretty quickly. So white birthday candles will count if you are unable to sit there for a long time. All right. So there we go. And so next Wednesday, is it a void of course day? Good question. Let's find out. Let's find out. Moons. Most of the time, it seems like our votive courses happen after 9. So I'm hoping that's the way it's going to be. And let's find it. Next Wednesday will be the 15th. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And the moon phase is in the second quarter. It's a waxing moon. It does not say that it's void of course. It does not say it's void of course. But of course, I do not have my actual witchy planner sitting next to me. So that's a good question, Zarabeth. I will double check. If it is void of course, we'll talk about the spell and we'll complete it when the moon is out. Got it? Thank you for mentioning that. I love that. Oh, I don't know if you've seen this commentator or not, but I'm getting my first set of runes for my sister. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, the tourmaline stones. I just made a new set that I am working on getting completed. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. I don't think you guys can see this. Hold on. There you go. So that's the newest set of runes that I just made that'll be going up soon. They've got little rose petals in there. I made that, and I am working on another little moon. I've got purple inlay that I gotta do. So that is where we are with runes and moons and things. Next week, black candle, 12-inch cord, flamey thing, sealable box. All right? We all got this? We're good. We're going to ward off stress. We're going to create a shield for our stress next Wednesday. Yay! And as far as the shadow work is concerned, the Hierophant taught us what we needed to know, right? As the teacher, we went through and learned about our own conformity and what does that say about us? What do we need to ask ourselves about our own conformity? So, let's see. I know, doesn't it sound cool, Lori? His runes sound really cool. And Zarabeth, I'm surprised I thought of it. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You shouldn't be surprised either. You're a smart person. And Zarabeth, hey, another. Oh, Amber, my soulless ginger. I have a soulless ginger as well. Is supposed to make me some runes. That's very cool. That is very cool. I can't wait to see your runes. All right, my lovelies. We're done for tonight. I love you all. And I will see you next Tarot Tuesday. And then next Witchy Wednesday, we are going to create a shield for our stress. So that way we can also get through this shadow work a little bit easier. All right, my lovelies. Be happy, be safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, and stay away from people that are gross. All right? Thank you again for all your support and always supporting me. Have a good one, guys.